We are indeed privileged to have with us here today an esteemed leader in computer engineering and information technology, Professor Dr. Insinyur Riri Fitrisari, who will deliver our keynote address. Allow me to share a brief overview of her illustrious career and contributions. Professor Dr. Riri is a distinguished professor of computer engineering at the Electrical Engineering Department, Faculty of Engineering, University of Indonesia, UI. From 2006 to 2014, she served as the Chief Information Officer and Head of the Information System Development and Services at UI. Holding a PhD in Computer Networks from the University of Leeds, UK, her doctoral research focused on active network-based congestion control protocols. Her current teaching and research expertise spans computer networks, grid computing, and ICT implementation. Professor Sari's remarkable achievements include receiving the 2009 Most Outstanding Lecturer Award at the University of Indonesia, the ICOCI Women in Engineering Most Inspiring Engineer Award in 2012, and the third place in the national selection of Most Outstanding Lecturer by the Ministry of National Education of Indonesia in 2009. She was also recognized as an inspiring woman and youth by PT Indosat in 2012 and as a Kartini 2.0 Women Technologist by PT Telkom in 2013. A distinguished Toastmaster with Toastmasters International, she is a senior member of the ICOCI and serves on the Special Task Force of Improving Indonesian Universities' Academic Reputation under the Ministry of Research and Higher Education. Her global contributions include joint research at CERN in Geneva, training in engineering education funded by UNESCO in Australia, higher education management training in Japan through JICA, and delivering invited lectures at KAIST in Korea. As a reviewer for numerous competitive grant schemes, she has contributed to the advancement of higher education and research in Indonesia. In her personal time, Professor Sari enjoys playing the piano, reading novels, and swimming. Please join me, ladies and gentlemen, in extending a warm round of applause to welcome Professor Dr. Insinyur Riri Sari Fitri to the stage for her keynote address. Stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted and flattered to have the introduction. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. But I'm a little bit nervous because this is afternoon, and this is the first time my poster was with Alan Disk, which is I think I admire him so much, so that this ICOCI will not ICOCI 10 will not be forgotten for me, because I know that everyone has been working very hard for creating something. But let me talk today on this topic, which I have discussed with the leaders of UINSU this afternoon during our trip. But Pak Wadek dan Pak Dekan not here, yeah? Okay, right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, fellow participants of ICOCI 10, I will talk on this topic on human beyond code, shaping AI with empathy in the era of information, Industrial Revolution 5.0. I know that during the last 3 years, since November 2002, we have been going through a very difficult situation in which the whole human race are moving towards the next step of our civilization, in which it always reminds me that this machine is thinking faster than us now. And it's so scary because I'm sure that no one who was working with AI previously think that this is going to happen. So I'm trying to dwell into this, shaping artificial intelligence with empathy in the era of industrial revolution. So I will talk about how we are going to go through beyond binary thinking, in which now we always compare AI versus human intelligence. I'm going to talk about the types of intelligent agents that we have. Most of our work now are related to generative AI and agent that we are creating to solve every problem that we have seen with a lot of data sets and many things. And we are going to also talk about how we can prepare for this, the challenges and consideration, and some cases that I'm going to discuss some work that we have done in our research group. Right, so I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Now we are going to face the era in which we have almost passed the Industry 4.0, and we are facing Industry 5.0, in which it must be able to cater the needs of human-centered AI. And we, as the developer of all systems that are being created now, must also be empowered to know how we can imagine the next version or what should be done in designing AI in the future. Well, our system should integrate emotional intelligence, and also we have to put inside, really dwell into more detail about the purpose and consideration on ethics into AI-driven system. I come into a book this morning talking about something called tunnel problem, in which now we just imagine that we are being in Google or a Tesla car that is self-driven, and we have to go to face, for example, we are going in Monte Carlo way, from Nice to Monte Carlo, all in those sharp things, and we are going to enter the tunnel. At the same time, a boy ran into the middle of the road. Nobody can control the car at that time. So we come into a dilemma. What's going to happen? What should the machine do? Because it has no way of inside the dilemma in which the boy will die or the car must go through inside the seat or jump into the area. So the problem, that is the famous problem in which we have to think that at this case, when I talked to Pak Zul this morning, he is a lawyer. So it's really good to talk to a lawyer, because they know that from the previous decision that they judge, they know that they have to have all the consideration from different perspectives, and everyone is entering the information, and then from different perspective, the system will know what was the previous decision, who was wrong and who was reliable and who should be responsible for this. Someone that was sitting inside the car itself cannot do anything, so he's not reliable, he's not responsible for this. So who should be blamed for this problem? If the car just go, and then we have to consider that in this case, this kind of dilemma should eventually, we agree in the car this afternoon that some moral value, moral decision should be put into place. Kalau kita orang Islam mungkin akan bilang itu sudah nasib atau sudah dari Allah ya, destiny. But in this case, in the future, we have to decide this kind of things will happen. And main thing that we have to consider this, we have to empathetically think, and when the developer decide the design of the AI, how it learns from the previous decision, one major consideration is that the car itself should be able to stop itself how many meters before. So every possibility should be taken into account when we design the system. So that is why that is one of the consideration in the next step. We have to consider the human-centered AI, and we know that some AI system like Westlaw and all the previous decision making on who was reliable, or the theme of responsible AI will be something that we will really think to the future. So in understanding the information revolution 5.0, we have to look into focus on the value that we have to put in place in the system that we are creating. And also we have to, when we are talking about sustainability, well, I have been working 15 years on sustainability metrics called green metrics, which has been accepted as the worldwide standard for green campus worldwide. But I'm no longer doing it this week. So we have to think about people, planet, and people, planet, and profit. Three things that we have to put into account. But in this case, also for the future of the system that we are creating, it should be human-centric, it should be resilient, and it should be sustainable, and leads action on sustainability and planetary boundaries. We have to think about every single possibility in which decision that is being done should be able to create collaboration between human and robots, or something that is called collaborative robots at the moment, in which human is in the loop. So the system will, the control system will control the human, will give feedback on how they have been doing things, but then also human being given the feedback to make sure that the system will be making the most of the condition, and we can solve our problem better and better. We know in the human history that nothing is perfect in the beginning. From 1 year to another year, we have always have the development of the system, and we are innovating from time to time. So in this case, we have to be creating an agile system and a resilient system with flexibility to adapt for different purposes, different consideration that we face. So we will be able to eventually learn that at the moment all the large language model, all the system that is being done and created with artificial intelligence must consider this input, and also making sure that human is in the loop in doing and creating a better system. So at the moment we know that in the industry now, we are focusing on connecting all the machines. At the moment, we are making sure that all the data can be gathered through the IoT system, and also some action are being done, and also creating integration of everything. But on Industry 5.0, we have to focus on delivering customer experience, and also previously we are thinking about mass customization, but later it's going to be called hyper customization. Previously, it's intelligent supply chain, in which we know that from the beginning, from the early stage to the final products, we have the intelligent supply chain, but having the industry 5.0, what is expected is that it should be responsive and distributed. So in this case, we can, for example, using blockchain technology, in which the data can be put in place and it should be immutable and should be put into the condition in which no one can alter the data except those that can have the responsibility and who can have the authority for this. And also in Industry 4.0, from smart products, we are going to create an experience-activated iterative products. And also, previously the manpower, we try to make it some distance from the factory. We just want to see the machine are working. But now probably we have to return the manpower to factories again for some purposes, and to make sure that human empathy, some moral values, some control can be put into place in decision making, just like the simple problem that I told you previously about the tunnel problem. So when we know that in Industry 5.0 we have a lot of technology. For example, now for blockchain technology, we have a decentralized management. At the same time, we have the operational transparency and create digital identity, and also compartmentalize the approach in order to solve the problem. Later on, I will talk a lot about this implementation of more responsible system that will think that the system can also learn how to make the solution more human-centered, using different services that and different features that blockchain have. And also we have IoT, of course, to make everything works. And also big data analysis. We know that we are all doing that together with the digital twins. And also edge computing. And also, this one probably would like to see more on collaborative robots, increase productivity, robustness, enhance dexterity, and making it more consistent and accurate. So collaboration is number one in this case, in order to make sure that the system will be more responsible. So the AI will be more responsible. We know that who is responsible for something. By the end, it's going to be the developer responsibility to make sure that it will be implemented in the system. Otherwise, nobody else will be liable for that. Well, some development in 6G network and beyond. I've just returned from Eurocom last week, seeing the Viva of one of our PhD collaborator from Taiwan. It's really interesting to know that having the random radio access network run with programmable system, for example, we can have more possibility to be connected in the future. So, I'm going to cover this beyond binary thinking to make sure that we are thinking about this, how we can make sure that having the efficiency features of artificial intelligence, we will eventually put human intelligence into this. Well, we have been teaching our students, and all of us have been trying to learn on how we can have algorithmic intelligence. But now it's more likely that we have to put in place, everyone should learn about putting imaginative intelligence, imagining things, put everything into the right prompt, for example, and making sure that human being can collaborate with all this artificial intelligence to cover something that have not been done previously. Because, and we have to be part of this, we have to lead this. And just like the story of previously, like in the Middle Age, for example, when we start to have, when human beings start to use dogs, for example, to help in hunting, when we took them home, we said that, maybe someone at home will say that, oh no, don't bring it here because it will harm us, it will eat our food and other things that is not good for us. But at the same time, then when we learn how to put together, we can collaborate together and train the dogs to be the good hunter to help us in hunting, then human beings collaborate in order to make sure that it's part of us. We are leading it. So this is just like what's going to happen with AI. Now we are in the condition in which first, last year if we made some lectures, they will say, oh, don't use AI to students. But now, today, all of us say that, okay, you can learn as much as possible from using AI. But, however, you have to know what you want and what you can learn from this. And you can imagine what next to tell the AI what to do. Because actually it's just doing predictions for us. It's nothing. It doesn't have any cognition of or consciousness of what it's doing. It's just doing our algorithm. So back to the position in which we train the dogs to reach our destination, to reach our aim goal. And our goal, this is the case also with AI. So we are adapting it with it. Everyone all over the world first say that, oh no, this is not good. But now, you know that we have to write whatever prompt that we learn, that we put, because you have to put it eventually in the differences. The prompt itself should be put in place. For example, for if you are using MLA references way, you have to tell the prompt that you are using. So we have to really claim what we are doing and what is our contribution. So this is the case with artificial intelligence. We can have fast calculation ability, capability to mimic human conversation, low error rate. Now it can also talk in bahasa Batak here because it can do a lot of things. But also we have to make sure that in many cases, human intelligence are more better in new situation. So, and it's also human being possess emotional and social intelligence. It has ability for abstract thinking and able to envision and plan for the future. This is what the AI don't have. It only think in binary way, 0 and 1s, and have no empathy. That is why, in order to make sure that the liability in one day can be put in place, who is liable for doing something wrong, it should be put in place into the system itself in designing this. So, next slide is about the types of intelligent agents that we have. The first one is problem-solving agent, in which we use logic and search algorithm. And then we have knowledge-based agent, which is based on expert rules, inference engine, and knowledge base that we previously have in order to have the expertise and put that in place into knowledge report. And also we have, eventually now we have learning-based agent, we have machine learning and deep learning methods in which we learn some patterns from data in order to predict the future. So the book that you can find in some bookstore, for example, now always teach people how AI thinks. And you are all here are those that code the system into the AI. So we have to remember again how generative AI works. So first, we do the data pre-processing, AI model training, and identifying the patterns, probabilistic data generation, and also doing iterative training with feedback. We do hyperparameter setting and tuning and things to make sure that we have more data in order to make sure that the accuracy and other performance indicators are better, so that it really helps us. So there are some trends in generative AI. For example, we have generative adversarial network GANs that we use now, and also variational autoencoders and transformer-based models, and also some recurrent neural network setting that some algorithms are being done. Maybe most of you now still think that short-term memory network, STM, are doing the best because probably it's more suitable with our problem at the moment. But when we found many other solutions and other problems to solve, we will come up into the need for diffusion model, autoregressive models that we used previously, and also reinforcement learning for generative tasks. So we have been using this for multimodal purposes, image generation and manipulation, software encoding. We know that now many of us are working together, helped by AI to create the code and make sure that it's customized into our needs. We have to learn new things, new tools in order to make sure that we work more quicker than before, but also making sure that our systems are more reliable. Also in terms of text generation and organizational collaboration, as well as audio and video creation, and also in this case we have to streamline all the possibility to work together into streamlining the operation, and also the operators that doing that together. So, for example, when we try to support problem that is related to human needs, to more problem with mental health issues, other than and also for supporting human potential, there are many tools that we can use. For example, when we see the Khan Academy and OpenAI work together for Khan Migo for interactive AI tutor, and also Socratic by Google and Century Tech UK. They create a platform for adaptive AI to personalize learning path. Also for healthcare chatbot, WooBot Health, Florence, Ada Health, and other things. And also for mental health and counseling, WISA, for example, have been widely used, Replica and Test. Well, we know that in this case, these tools are there, but we know that the time limit for using it, and once we are capable of using the competitors' solution, it will be outdated very quickly. However, to make sure that it's customized into the needs of different languages, different culture, different way of work, that is going to be shaped also by the system. So it's going to be like an interactive collaboration between the user and the system itself. Then we can come up into the way, different way of solving problems with AI. So how do we prepare for this? We have to have human-centered skills, in which emotional intelligence, empathy, creativity, ethical judgment should be put in place in making sure that the algorithm that we put into AI will do this. It will help us also to put more detailed consideration in all aspects. And also digital competency is required, data governance, cyber security awareness, and many things, and ethical and responsible AI. This framework for transparency, accountability, fairness, and bias mitigation, we know that a lot of answers from the AI now for generative AI are hallucination. We are still having problem with that, but not taking into account that we have more data sets, more testing, and more training, this will be overcome very quickly. Particularly, we are entering the time in which quantum computing are with us. Also, cross-disciplinary thinking, integrating technical with humanity, social science, and sustainability practices, and collaborative ecosystem, sustainable infrastructure, agile policy and regulation, and also eventually, we know that everything that is there previously was starting first in our smart campus, in our test bed. So we have to make sure that some pilot project for AI in everything that we do, first we can do that in our test bed, and in order to prevent things that is not in our expectation. Next, about how the condition in which in the future super intelligence that is learning all the data that at the moment is there with them. We have to make sure that we empower talent. We have to know that all those young generation should be able to have the imagination, positively think about learning the right skills, because their scores on which is coming first. Do they have to learn about technical issues first or managerial issues? Is still there in place, but the decision will be the same. If both of these are very important in order to create a system that will work and finally accommodate the needs of human being in the future. So we have to lead the digital transformation in all aspects, including starting from the ballistic missiles that is now working everywhere in the world, that we know is very sharp. When it goes to the place, it's just hitting the right thing. It's just working just like expected. And it's amazing that people all over the world with the use of internet now can learn so many things. But hopefully the decision in creating the future of humanity will put in place by the right regulation, the judgment of what is right and wrong, what is the value, because the different perspective of what is right and wrong will come up into the, if it's come in the hands of the wrong people, it will really creating the future that we don't want. And also the trusted digital infrastructure. We have to make sure that only the system will be secure, it will be scalable, and also sustainable digital system and data will be needed to be able to shape the future. And also effective governance. So we have to talk about those that is working with regulation, with laws, and how the data governance that is put in place in the system can be created, can be used. There are some challenges and consideration: privacy and security, infrastructure, equity, and regulation that we have to see how we can navigate legal and regulatory framework for technology integration. And as I told you before, that the pillars of responsible AI are as follows. We have to think that the future of the AI is that we start this in all aspects of our community. We have to create the technical pillars. It should be able to secure the data, privacy preserving, and also explainable AI is very important. We have to be able to see how the AI just like a white box. Even though it's very complex to learn because the neural network and the complexities of the solution that is being provided at the moment, we have to be able to have the visualization and have the explainable AI for that. And also at the same time, it is dependent to the ethical and pillar in which it should be accountable, it should be fair. See, we have the problem previously if it's gender or race, or is it because of the other things like gender, race, and other things that sometimes very biased, it should be avoided. And it should be compliant with rules and laws, and also it should be able to provide a sustainable solution for everything, so we can preserve the right condition. And this will affect to the things that is important. The 7 things that is important in AI, responsible AI, is trustworthiness. We have to understand it should be an understandable reasoning process, accuracy under uncertainty. We have to have control over our own data. It should be fair, it should be useful, reliable, and also usable. And this will be very accepted by the user. And we have to make sure that the AI itself, these pillars, these 3 pillars, will help us to create a human-centered system with responsibility that is really can be put into place in responsible governance. The first test bed will be universities. As an ethical test bed, we have the responsible AI auditing, campus AI policy evaluation, in which we have to make sure that bias, transparency, interpretation to data, fairness, ethics, and responsibility in order to create trust will be put in this situation. It will be available. Well, maybe in the last few minutes I will talk about our current research and development and implementation for Industry 5.0 in my research group. For example, when we are talking about in the future, you know, when we are using blockchain technology, what we would like to have is to eliminate the middleman, so that when you pay something, you will directly in contact with the our peer. So there is no middleman in the middle. Systems are there in place for this. For example, in this peer-to-peer energy trading model, we have implemented it using Hyperledger Fabric, in which the utilization of the solar power is being distributed by peer-to-peer energy trading model, for example. In this case, AI can be put in place and also together with blockchain. And also Indonesia, in this Indonesia Electricity State Company electric vehicle charging system using Hyperledger Fabric, we have implemented our blockchain technology that put trust in place into the way we charge the electric vehicle in the machine. And also something in building information modeling platform. We have conducted some work using Hyperledger Composer for this, in which the lifetime of the building, for example, the 7 building information data that we have, 7 dimensions, will be put into place, and from the beginning, from the design to the implementation, from the way the builder do it, and also the use of them, the use of the building until the clearing and demolition of the building itself. The data should be there in order to make sure that we can maintain the system and also have the real data together. Sorry. Right, this is the energy trading model, and also this is the electric trading, electric vehicle. And this is the building information modeling system with Hyperledger Composer. This is our electronic waste management mobile application using Hyperledger Fabric, in which some intelligence are put in place, and also the way we put our data and to manage the collaboration among the user of the system will be there. Okay, these are also some more. Sorry. Can you put it back? I think number 21. Okay, now also, building information modeling, electronic waste management, payroll system and attendance system, use verification system, and hoax elimination, hoax news elimination, and electronic medical records database, which we do the rating in order to save the data to create the system in which we have the data in place in our blockchain. Also for this is also yesterday, I think, today you will, Sandy will talk about this, the use of blockchain in multiplayer online game cheating detection system using Ethereum, Ganache, and Godot. The next thing is the vision plus smart agriculture being used. And also we have the Indonesia History of Computing Virtual Museum, in which we also put machine learning and chatbot into this with different approach. Well, there are many other related research and development that we do in our research group related to blockchain and sustainable development goals. Okay, in conclusion, the artificial intelligence in industrial revolution must reflect empathy, not just efficiency. Empathy is based on the way human being and human-centered system works. So this is very important. And technology should enhance, but not replacing human being, not replacing human capacity, but it's adding up into our capacity to be more efficient, but also can explore human potential to be able to solve problems and challenges that we have in the world. And also we have real-world AI problems and solutions, and this should be powered with human-centered design that we have to learn by ourselves how we can put in place our culture, our language, our different perspective of what is good and what should and should not be done. We have to teach the machine about this, more moral values on this, on decision making. That number one, when we learn that Alan Turing, when he created the computing, number one is the machine should do no harm to humanity. This is very important. And we at the universities play a key role in ethical AI leadership. And we are not just knowledge producer. We should be able to teach and to make sure that ethics is put in place into shaping the future of humanity, and also to teach the machine about this. So let us not build machines that act like humans, but let us build AI that help us become better humans. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Riri Fitrisari, for a truly inspiring and thought-provoking keynote that has enriched our understanding and advancement in computing and informatics, and also to add in some human touches. Your insights and contributions will continue to inspire us all. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed with the Q&A, I was going through Prof. Riri's presentation. One thing which really worries me was that, will AI take away the role of being an MC? But I realized technology enhances. Phew! At least I know I'll still be in ICOCI 11, ICOCI 12 until I retire. Okay? All right. So, Prof, we'll go to the Q&A session. Okay, and after that, we'll go to the lucky draw. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions with regards to Prof. Riri's presentation, or if you'd like to share some insights on how AI or about IR 5.0, please raise your hand and I'll get to you. Any questions? Yes, Prof. Suzy.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, Prof. Thank you for the inspiring keynote speech. I'm not from computer science, I'm not a computer scientist. I'm forecaster, statistician and psychometrician. Then the question is that machine is taking over the human job, and there are concept of blaming the machine with the loss of human job. What is your point of view here when you say that you want to have the empathy to emphasize in the AI, right? But where is the empathy if more humans are losing job because of machine? Thank you.
Should I answer? Yes. Yeah, Bu Susi, I think it's really interesting question. I think all of us are thinking about it. That is why my talk today think about the future, because we know that there are many things happening during the last 3 or 5 years. Even if we know that in San Francisco, the Google car, and there are two autonomous vehicles being run, but it's only it's being used and implemented, but it's only in one particular part of San Francisco, and there are so many things happen, and it is becoming the condition or the case study or the data that is being put in place. But there are many things in which now, if you are also, the story is, yesterday I heard my daughter was in one of the plane that is being diverted when the bomb happens because she was going to go to Portugal, but through Doha, and it's being diverted. At the same time, what we think is that this condition, she met this driver of the vehicles, underwater vehicles, that he did control from a distance. So there are many positions now available for remote working, but it's a hard job, like doing this, controlling, or some tractors are being moved out there, with control, or maybe ballistic vehicles pilot, that is. There are many new things that is created, many new jobs in which we can jump into position in which we make decision as a human being that is needed. But yes, this is in contrast with the position in which some developers in Microsoft lost their jobs because of the system that they created, because it's no use anymore. Yes, I think it will come into account that slowly we will evolve into the way we solve our problem. Remember when we had the difficult time using a pandemic situation, all of us start communicating with students with different ways, and we can pass through that. Well, they are fine now, they are better. So also with the kind of condition in which we know that our students are using AI, the answer were perfect. We don't use paper, we don't use computer anymore, back to paper, and they have to write back everything that they know in their mind, and they tell them, you talk to them, you have different way, you have this initiative, you have this innovation to be able to make sure that they are getting the delta from this to this, and that is human being. It will come into the way different parts of jobs in which quality assurance in this, quality assurance in that, in which you have the human being judgment, human intelligence into this. So we will all create this. I'm sure that we will be able to pass this condition, but maybe we have to also make sure that the developers are taking into account that there are positions in which the supervision can be done by human being, and all the things that is really detailed should be put in place in design of the system, in how the system learns something, how the data should be controlled. And I think the pillars that I told you before, how we can put the infrastructure, how we can put the technical pillars, the ethical pillars, and trustworthiness. There are a lot of new jobs will be created for this. We never know that it was going to be a job for this, but I'm sure that your students now stay at home, only going twice a week, to even in Silicon Valley, there are no people, gathered anymore. They are just meeting, but they're very busy, but they are not in the same place anymore. We are adapting to this, and with optimistic point of view, we will pass through this. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Rudy. Any more questions from the floor? Yes, Pak Ridwan.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shini, and a good explanation from Professor Ridin. And during our visit from airport here, we had a very good discussion with our dean related to the how law, human law related to the AI and our the economic perspective, and at last we got a little bit conclusion that at last the role of ethics is so important in determining or how to control the AI. Maybe if you can say term control. Actually, at last AI will control. We do not know how the future looks like. But if we continue our discussion during our way here, we see that the role of spiritual or ethic maybe is very important, and the human being is the main controller of the things. So do you think that at last the man behind the AI is not is someone like philosophers or like spiritual actors or religious men who control all the AI? How about it? And then we had a discussion. That is the first question. The second one is about how if you made a local AI. I mean that when we talk about AI, we know that there are some issues relating with the I mean that spy activities. So we need a special AI related to different local AI, like Indonesian AI or Malaysian AI, because it's very dangerous if AI is open. Is it something possible that we have not open AI but closed AI and local AI? That is, I think, my question. I think I give this microphone to our dean. Maybe we had. Okay, Mr. Sirin.
Yes. Thank you, Mariguan. Yes, I told the audience this afternoon that we were having a very great discussion in our car today. We know that in order to answer your question about the future, are we going to need a philosopher to think about our relationship with machine? One of the conclusions today is that we have to make sure that our system is kind of collaborative robots that put human being into the loop. So the system will control our what humans do, and the human will give the feedback also to what the machine have done. So we have to make sure that we don't just put everything to the machine. We have to make sure that there are some position in which we can decide everything. Like first, fairness. If we know that there are things that make it possible for the system to be wrong, for example, because of the incomplete data or only the data set that is normally we use 80% and 20%, for example, and also the number of data itself. And when it's making decision that is, we have the data that is, for example, the gender equality, and also about the race, and also different things that is making it not fair. The conclusion is not fair. It should be avoided, and we should make sure that the data is correct, so that the machine are doing a more fairer system. So yeah, this kind of philosophy is very important. We have a lot of fiction movie about this. It will happen that in one day we have to think about this. But for your question, what is going to happen? Yes, we still have to have those people that working technically correct, ethically correct, and also making sure that the system is trustworthy. We can trust the system. And sometimes it's not just happening very quickly. It's not just automatically done. For example, you know that we have a lot of BYD machine being taken into, stop to be produced because of this problem. But then we revise and do some corrections. It's going to be in the loop. continuous improvement will happen to the AI itself, and we have to be in center of this. And for your number two, the second idea that we have, of course, everything. At the moment, all of us are creating our different AI machines, different machine learning approach for the data that we have. But in this case, it will solve the problem that we have ourselves. That's why we will require to build large language model that is having the data that we require. But I'm sure that in one stage, human beings also have to think, all this AI machine requires a lot of energy. Yeah, sometimes something that is really simple that can be done is just automatically be decided. The machine will require a lot of energy for this. Yeah, if you can tell that even for Bitcoin, for example, when we have the Ukraine war, we can tell that we facing different conditions in which the need for the energy are major concern for this artificial intelligence that is being used. So there are a lot of consideration that we have to think about. That is why not too many people are ready enough to create their own large language model or their own RAG, for example, and other solution. But yes, the pillars of the responsible AI framework that I told you today is something that we have to take into account, even in our institution, about the fairness, about the reliability of data, about usability of that, and also the usefulness, how we can control our own data when it's being done. Yeah. I'm sure that they can hear the lawyer know that it's really important in making decision who is to blame for something. Yeah. So yes, all those major consideration is very important. So it's all our homework, and I'm very happy to be able to discuss it with all of you today. I'm very honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Riri, for your very insightful talk. I believe that if you were to go on, more and more questions will come in. It will be much more heated. Okay, we are all getting excited now, but unfortunately, time is not on our side. Okay, so we'll have to proceed with the program. But before you go, there's actually a lucky draw. Okay, so get your raffle cards, your paper ready. Okay, I was just looking around the hall. There are actually 52 computer scientists, information technologists here. We all have the capabilities of randomly using a computer program, randomly selecting who will be the winner. But today, we beat AI. We still go back to the traditional method of choosing it.
This is nicer than this wheel.
Okay, so we have 3 prizes. Okay, we have 3 prizes. Everybody has an equal chance of winning, and the third prize goes to
Kamel Imran Sharif.
Mr. Kamal Imran Sharif. He is not here.
First one is 226. Who there? Nggak ada yang muda.
We are being human elimination.
Very quick, ya. Yeah, this is our intuition. Itapini awak. Tapini.
Tapini awak.
Selamat ya.
let's draw.
Fadli.
We must be close to each other.
Congratulations, Dr. Fadli. And the grand prize goes to
Oh, Juhaida Abu Bakar. Wah, dapat.
Okay, I take back my words. I should have written a code that says all winners are PID 206 Suanit Charinchin. So that means you are all very, very transparent over here, okay? Right, so thank you again, Prof, for your very insightful talk. We hope to see you again in future engagements. Okay? Hope that one day you visit you again too. Okay? And to all attendees here, okay? It's time to go back to work.
Presentation.
Okay, we have a little bit of a memento for Prof. Rudy. Okay, to do that, Associate Professor Dr. Noliza will give a memento to Prof. Rudy for her very, very insightful thoughts and very kind sharing today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay,